King Jr. got another video for y'all. Please sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. And also, share the video to get all your latest boxing news. And be sure to hit that bell icon to always stay notified as soon as I release the news and comes out. With that being said, guys, looks like Terence Crawford, well, recently was addressed about the young prospect, well, not a prospect anymore, within Ennis. And he says Ennis does have to continue to fight better competition. He has to continue to fight guys, but he does give him credit for knocking the guys that they put in front of him. But he just simply hasn't fought nobody, which I said that myself. And he says that this is a fight. If I'm successful against Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo, he's willing to risk it all to fight Ennis. Now, a lot of people is going to say, well, Terence Crawford by then is not going to be able to beat Ennis. He's going to be too old. Well, Terence Crawford already stated that he's not going to fight in his upper 30s, and is definitely not in his 40s. And I don't think Terence Crawford would never fight Ennis because of time. We've seen Ennis is trying to already start his reign in the welterweight division after Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. fight happened. After what I'm hearing, they're going to have a rematch clause after they fight twice, but Errol Spence says, nah, we don't need no rematch clause. I don't know who's going to have the rematch clause on each side, but I know it's going to be 2 fights, definitely at the welterweight division. But both guys is going to 154. So you get a guy like Errol Spence Jr., Terence Crawford, who wants to win some more belts and be a multi-division champion, try to claim undisputed at 154. Hopefully, Jermell Charlo moves up to 160 and his brother move up to 68, which I hope that's where the case be in the future. Time will tell. And, you know, it's going to be very interesting to see if Terence Crawford or Errol Spence is willing to fight Ennis. Now, both guys is on record stating that they were willing to give Ennis a chance. We had Terence Crawford. We know recently he wasn't too big on Ennis. He didn't mention his name that much. We recently on the Showtime Sean Porter podcast, and the name Ennis was brought up to him on there, and he talked about Ennis being a good fighter, but he just never had any interest in fighting Ennis. And now Terence Crawford, if you guys go pull up the audio footage, whatever the case may be, says that he is willing to fight Ennis later down the line, but he has some unfinished business to take care of with Errol Spence Jr., since he always claimed that I'm going to take out Jermell Charlo's biggest cheerleader within Errol Spence Jr. So Terence Crawford has been talking his trash. He's willing to be the best Terence Crawford as he constantly be. So let's say Terence Crawford is successful against Errol Spence. Let's say he is successful against Jermell Charlo. Especially if you're going to fight especially if you're going to fight Errol Spence Jr. on the back end once again, if a rematch clause isn't the thing. So basically, that's probably going to be a year or maybe 2 years at most. Terence Crawford's probably going to be about 37, maybe 38 years of age. And even if he does decide to fight Ennis, Terence Crawford is going to be out of his absolutely prime. And Ennis' prime is just going to be way too much for Terence Crawford to handle. In my opinion, I don't think that Terence Crawford is going to be able to beat Ennis around that time, because Ennis is going to be at his absolutely best. Hopefully that he could get the belts off of Virgil Ortiz, Conor Benn, Montez Stanionis. Those are going to be the new reigning guys at the welterweight division. Errol Spence already stated that he's going to fight Ennis, but it's not going to be at 47. It's probably going to be at 54. And Terence Crawford is probably going to do the same thing. He's not going to fight Ennis at 47. He's probably going to fight him at 54, because Terence Crawford, you know, his frame, he can really stay at 147, but Terence Crawford wants to be daring to be great and going up to 154 and being the undisputed champion in 2 more divisions. Which Terence Crawford, if he is successful, I will give Terence Crawford all the credit in the world. I would throw that resume crap out the window by saying that he has did something that no man has ever done, is become undisputed in 3 different weight divisions. But we have to see. But I'm going to definitely give credit to either one. If Errol Spence Jr. becomes undisputed in 2 different weight classes, I'm going to give him the reign over every guy in history. If Terence Crawford decides to come undisputed in 3 different divisions, there ain't no doubt that Terence Crawford is better than the top great legends like a Muhammad Ali. You could actually throw Terence Crawford in the top 3 if he becomes undisputed in 3 different divisions. That's how I see it. Y'all always saying I'm knocking Terence Crawford. I'm not knocking Terence Crawford's skill. I think Terence Crawford is one hell of a fighter. I just don't think he's going to beat Errol Spence. But if Terence Crawford proves me wrong, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that you could beat Errol Spence. And if you beat Errol Spence at the end of the day, I would give you all the credit in the world. I would say I was completely wrong. But see, a lot of guys like to run with the narrative. A lot of guys like to start drama and saying, well, you was always riding for Errol. You jumped off, now you're starting to jump off the Errol band. I'm not jumping off the Errol Spence Jr. bandwagon. I'm riding with Errol Spence Jr. until the wheels fall off. But at the end of the day, I think that Jaron Ennis is going to be a tough fight for both guys within Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford, because Jaron Ennis is a mixture of both. Jaron Ennis is big and he can pressure and he can overwhelm you at the same time like Errol Spence Jr. does. And Jaron Ennis can switch from orthodox to southpaw just like Terence Crawford. And remember, Jaron Ennis is on record stating that he does everything better than Terence Crawford, and he also stated that he is more fluent and more versatile than Errol Spence Jr. But in my defense, I still think that Jaron Ennis can lose against both top-tier contenders, because Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford has more experience than Jaron Ennis, and they have fought stellar competition early in the beginning of their careers, whether than Jaron Ennis is just fighting guys that they just line up and just want to get a check like a Custio Clay. That's just not a step-up fight. Everybody talk about the Sergey Lipinets. Sergey Lipinets wasn't even the same fighter, in my opinion. It was a good test for him. Everybody thought Custio Clayton was going to be a good test for him, but it's just simply not. A lot of people would like to see Jaron Ennis in the ring with Imantas Stanionis. I would love to see that fight. I would like to see how Jaron Ennis deal with pressure on pressure. I think Jaron Ennis could stop Stanionis in the 10th round, because Jaron Ennis is versatile and he's looking to box. And I don't think Jaron Ennis has really been past the 6th round, really has been past the 6th round in a long time. He has been getting cats out of there between round 1s and round 6. You know, he hasn't been in the distance since like 2017, 2018 of his career. We know Jaron Ennis, he's coming up fast. Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. still have a lot of time on his side, but Terence Crawford doesn't have a lot of time on his side. I think that Terence Crawford is going to be 38 years of age if the fight does present himself around that time, because even if Terence Crawford is successful against Errol Spence Jr. and Jermell Charlo, he's going to be about 36 or maybe 37 or 38 years of age. And I think Terence Crawford is not going to be looking to fight Jaron Ennis. But I do like the fact that Terence Crawford acknowledged that he does want to fight with Jaron Ennis if everything's go by. And I wanted to mention that Terence Crawford says that the fight could potentially happen. If everything goes right, it could happen in November. The information has been somewhat confirmed by Bernie the Boxer. You guys know how I feel about Bernie the Boxer. But at the end of the day, it's just what comes to the sport of boxing. So with that being said, Terence Crawford still wants Jaron Ennis to prove himself. But he says he really is going to fight Jaron Ennis if it comes down the line. I don't see it, because Terence Crawford is going to be out of his prime. But I will admire if Terence Crawford does fight Jaron Ennis. And if he beats Jaron Ennis at the end of his career, there's no doubt that Terence Crawford is one of the best fighters in history. So, with that being said, guys, it is what it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is your boy King Jr. I'm out of here. Peace.